If he said he doesn't that want you, but still lingers in your life like smoke after fire, you are not confused. You are being manipulated. Now I need you to stop right now. Put the phone down, unclench your heart, and listen with the part of you that is tired of pretending you don't see what you see. Because this is the moment you stop begging for clarity from someone who Sep's been feeding you confusion. He rejected you, and yet he wants to let you go. He won't commit, but he won't disappear either. He still touch your spirit just enough to keep you waiting, but never enough to make you feel chosen. That set's not love, baby. That set's not devotion. That set's control dressed up as connection. That set's a man feeding on your doubt because he knows you are still hoping. But today I came to speak to the woman in you, the woman who is done dancing in the in-between, the woman who is ready to stop waiting for his heart to change and start reclaiming her own. Because God didn't set make you a placeholder. The ancestors didn't walk through fire so you could settle for a man who can't even stand in truth. You are not here to chase half answers. You are here to remember who you are. And this is the beginning of your remembering. Welcome home. All right, beloved, let's walk together now, soul to soul, heart to heart, because I know you're tired of wondering why someone who doesn't want to love you the way you deserve still shows up just enough to confuse your spirit. Tired of asking yourself, if he doesn't care, why does he still call? Tired of that little flicker of hope every time his name pops up on your phone. I want you to understand something deep tonight. This is not about him. This is about you. This is about the wound inside you that keeps answering the door when pain comes knocking. The wound that still believes you have to prove you're worth staying for. Baby, come on now. That wound did not start with him. That wound has your mama's silence stitched into it. It has your grandmother's prayers folded inside. It has years of women in your line who were taught to be grateful for crumbs. And here you are, a whole meal, starving, and it hurts. I know, because when someone gives you just enough to hope, but never enough to heal, it feels like emotional starvation. It keeps you second-guessing your own intuition, questioning your own worth. That's not love, beloved. That's spiritual manipulation. You see, some men don't want to love you. They want to own the access to your energy. They want the benefits of your presence, your softness, your loyalty, without the responsibility of showing up fully. They want you to stay emotionally entangled, just in case they get lonely, just in case they want to feel powerful again, just in case no one else is available. And every time you respond, every time you pick up the phone, every time you say, maybe he just needs more time, you are giving your sacred energy away. You are telling the universe, I don't believe I can be chosen with certainty, but beloved, you can, and you will once you choose yourself with certainty first. Let me tell you a story. I knew a woman once, wise, kind, giving to a fault. She gave and gave to a man who made it clear he didn't want more, but he never disappeared either. He kept orbiting her and she kept thinking maybe one day, and do you know what happened? She forgot how to dream for herself. She stopped writing, stopped laughing. Her joy became conditional on someone else's attention, and that is the greatest loss of all. But one day she heard the voice of her spirit say, enough, that's all. Not a scream, not a sermon, just enough. And baby, she walked away quietly, completely. She didn't send a message. She didn't post a quote online. She just closed the door for good.
And do you know what happened after that?
She came back to herself. Her face got softer. Her smile came back. Her soul, her soul stood tall again. That's the power of detachment. That's the healing that comes when you do nothing, when you stop responding, stop chasing closure, stop asking questions to someone who's already answered with their actions. And listen to me, because this part is important. Sometimes the only closure you will ever get is the sound of your own footsteps walking away from chaos. Let it burn. Let it ache. Let it cry out, but let it go. You are not meant to keep circling a man who wants you in confusion. You are meant to sit at the table of your own peace and say, if he cannot meet me here, he is not meant for me. And don't you dare settle for a man who only wants you when you're slipping away, who only becomes tender when he feels you pulling back. Because that ain't love, baby. That's ego. That's fear of losing control, not fear of losing you. I want you to look in the mirror and remember this. You are a woman who can be desired and chosen. You are a woman who can walk away without a speech. You are a woman who can cry at night and still rise in power the next day. You don't need to perform healing to keep a man around. You don't need to shrink your intuition. You don't need to play small and soft to keep his interest. You don't need to stay accessible to someone who's never been available to you. And I know, beloved, I know how hard it is to go silent, to not respond, to not chase. It feels like death, but what if it's not death? What if it's resurrection? What if silence isn't the end, but the beginning of you remembering your worth again? Let him wonder. Let him miss you. Let him feel the weight of your absence. Not because you're trying to punish him, but because you're finally honoring you. When he rejects you but still acts interested, do not give that contradiction your peace. Do not give it your hope. Do not give it your future. Let him go. Let the lesson land. Let the silence speak louder than your begging ever could. Because, baby, your healing is not dependent on his return. Your worth is not dependent on his clarity. Your life is not waiting for his love. You are already whole, already chosen, already divine. And if he can't see that, if he still needs to play games with your heart while holding the door open with one hand and pushing you away with the other, then you must close the door. You must cut the cord. You must return to the altar of your own self-respect. Because the truth is, beloved, when you finally stop responding to confusion, when you stop making excuses, when you sit down with your pain and say, I deserve more than this, the entire universe shifts to rise and meet you. So choose you, not just once, not just when he stops texting. Choose you again and again until the woman in the mirror smiles and says, there you are. I've been waiting on you. Let's keep going, baby. You're doing sacred work. Let me lay this truth upon your heart like a warm blanket on a cold night, because I know you didn't come here just for words. You came here for remembrance, for a soft and sacred reckoning. You came here not to be saved, but to be seen. So let me leave you with this. You are not broken because a man couldn't choose you. You are not unworthy because someone walked away. And you are not hard to love because someone lacked the capacity to hold your heart with care. That was never about you. That was his limitation. Not your value. You are a holy woman with ancient wisdom in your bones, with oceans in your soul, with prayers wrapped in your breath. And when you detach from anything that dishonors your spirit, you do not lose, you return. You come back to the altar of your own wholeness. You reclaim the pieces of you that you handed away, believing they would make someone stay. But now, you know better. Now you remember you are the prize, you are the peace, you are the powerful presence that never needed to chase. If he cannot hold you with reverence, let him go. If he cannot see you clearly, release him in clarity. If he cannot meet you in truth, bow out in love, because there is no closure more sacred than a woman who chooses herself again. So rise now, my love. Wipe your tears, but don't set rush your healing. Stand tall, but don't set harden your heart. Speak gently to the parts of you that are still tender, still unraveling, still remembering. This is not the end. This is the unfolding. This is you rising out of confusion and into divine clarity. This is your sacred no, your holy silence, your powerful stillness, and may it echo through every decision you make from this moment on. I will not beg for love. I will not shrink for attention. I will not wait to be chosen. I am the one I've been waiting for. I am my own rescue. I am my own return. So go on now, not bitter but better, not hardened but healed, not proving but remembering. You are not just seen, baby. You are home. And that is the most irresistible energy in the universe. A woman who belongs to herself, I say, amen. And so it is.